So I came here to my friend Brian McEachern's shop, which is in the mountains of North Carolina. This is Brian McEachern.
Hi there.
And this is a Lotus 11. And is that a fiberglass body or is that aluminum?
This one's fiberglass. Mine over here is aluminum.
What a beautiful car, successful car in its day, built by Colin Chapman. It's got a Coventry Climax motor, just fabulous sports racer.
Yeah, 1500 cc's.
These motors started off as water pump motors in England so that farmers could pump water out of the stream, out of the ponds and water their farm fields, and then fire department motors as well. Somebody came along and said, wow, that's pretty cool. It's aluminum and it's got an overhead cam, maybe it'll work in a race car. Suddenly they had a whole nother life. And then up here he's got a bug-eyed Sprite, only without the bug-eyed nose on it. This is not what a bug-eye traditionally looks like. This is what a bug-eye race car looks like. In a moment you'll see what a bug-eye looks like. I asked Brian about the Austin Healey outside, and he said, well, you know, that's kind of, I bought a couple of Healeys in a package deal, and he's restoring this one back here. So what do you have back here, Brian?
This is a Austin Healey 3000 Series 1, one of the 1961, and believe it or not, it is in really good shape.
And this is your personal car?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well, can you show us the one?
Sure, sure.
We don't look at pretty cars. We look at ugly cars on the show.
Well, I've got a couple of those outside. Yeah.
What Brian has inside is an Austin Healey 3000. I think it was a 2800 cc motor. Well, this is a 2600. Look at the roof on this thing. I've never seen a fastback roof like this on a Healey, and that's pretty cool. They made some variations for racing and touring, but they moved the trunk lid up onto the fiberglass. That's fiberglass, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. But the thing with this car is that it's not the 3-liter engine.
Oh.
It is something else. It is a nasty boy.
Oh, nasty. Oh, those are V8s.
Uh-oh. Well, somewhere in here is a nasty. It is nasty, isn't it?
Boy, that's nasty. So that's a Ford motor with the distributor
With
up
the
front.
distributor on the front.
And it's got, let's see if it's a 2-barrel or 4-barrel. It's a 4-barrel. It's probably a 260 or 289.
I think it's a 289.
And you saw what it looks like inside. That's what the tub looks like. And these body panels tack onto it. The Healey motor and transmission weigh like 700 pounds. And over time, that tub can tend to sink in the middle. So that needs a lot of work, I gotta say that.
Needs a little bit of work, yeah.
So this is known as a big Healey. The 106, the 3000 were big Healeys. The small Healey was, the first generation small Healey was a bug-eye. And Brian says, oh, come on back here. So I went back behind this building last time I was here, and we saw a couple of bug-eyes.
They're still back there.
Yep. So this is a small Healey. And the original cars were called bug-eyes for obvious reasons. The headlights look like the eyes of a bug. Traditionally, these were supposed to flip down. These were supposed to be retractable headlights to give it better aerodynamics, but that meant they had to jack the price of the car, and that would have exceeded the amount they wanted to charge, which I think was about $19.95. So they fixed them like that, and they are great little road cars, great little race cars. They came with a 948cc pushrod motor, but they're really cool when you put a 1275 in them. So what about this car, Brian? Have you looked at this car? Do you know what you own? Because you inherited this car from
It came with the shop, yeah. I have no idea what this car is, where it came from, or, you know, what's going on. I don't even know if the hood will open. It might fall right off. You can try, just, there you go.
Well, look at that. It's got an engine and a transmission.
It's almost a running car, right?
I bet you can get that running in the afternoon if it turns over.
Yeah.
And what is this one over here?
This is another bug-eye. It's in a little better shape. Go. This one's in, it's got
it's
some
got
nice
custom wheels on there.
Yeah. It doesn't have an engine in it.
Does this have an interior?
No, but it has.
But it's got floors.
It's got floors. It's got a transmission.
43,000 miles.
1968, 1969. Yeah, September.
You know, this is not a half bad car. You could do something with this.
Yeah.
You can see it was originally red, somebody painted white.
Yeah, this car, there is potential for this car, and that's why I've got it so beautifully wrapped up. Now I also have a Morgan Plus 4.
In here?
Yeah.
Where would you put a Morgan if you were Morgan?
I put it in the back.
Oh, you got another room?
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. What year is it?
I think it's a 61 as well.
So it's got you know, special wheels on there for sure.
Just I think
multi-spoke.
70. I think 72 spoke wire
72
wheels.
spoke. It's got a Triumph motor.
Yeah.
Whoa.
This is a race ready
Isn't that something?
car
Yeah.
that's ready
I
to
haven't seen this-
race.
I haven't seen this race in 2 decades probably. I want to thank Brian for allowing us to come back here and see you at the
Bob.
track.
All right. See ya.
Happy hunting. We're in Newton, North Carolina, about 40 miles north of Charlotte, and Guy Roberts Volkswagen Repair has been here so long. Now, Guy Roberts, he's not here today. He had to go to a doctor's appointment. He's a friend of mine. It was started by his father, Guy Roberts. When Guy Roberts Sr. retired, Guy Roberts took over the family business, which was Volkswagen Repair, and now Guy Roberts, I guess the third, is coming onto the business now. So it's a pretty amazing business that goes generation after generation. He's got such a good reputation for repairing Volkswagens. Now they started off with air-cooled cars, you know, the original Beetles, Volkswagen buses and whatever. That people come from Atlanta here to drop off their car to be serviced. You know, Atlanta from here is 5 hours away. But he said we have full reign to look about what's going on in the back there. He's got his own private little Volkswagen junkyard, so let's go. You know, they started off as an air-cooled Volkswagen repair center, but as Volkswagen morphed into water-cooled front-wheel drive, they got into those as well. So you can see, you know, this is where they made their bread and butter for the first 50 years of their business, and now they're into Jettas and Passats and GTIs and things like that. So the way this yard works, people will drop off cars here. Like if somebody's got a VW, they don't want any more, they'll bring it here and Guy will come in on a Monday morning and find 3 people left their cars here. Well, he's got then a never-ending supply of parts cars. Other people have cars that might just become more expensive to keep going than it's worth, and he'll say, Guy, just take it. So this yard of Volkswagens, every several years, when the price of scrap metal gets high enough, Guy scraps them all out, and it'll be all empty back here for a little while, and then it starts filling up again. And this has gone on for decades. Well, he said the price of scrap metal is so low now, he's had no inclination to crush these cars. So, you know, they're sitting here until scrap metal goes up or until they rust into the ground. So basically everything here is for sale. You know, if you want an old air-cooled Beetle, he's got lots of them. If you need parts, there's no better place to come. And then of course, you know, like things like this camper van. Now, if it's got a title, yeah, I guess you could restore this. But I mean, this is pretty heavy duty up here. I mean, this has actually been here for a while. So if you're a VW enthusiast, which I certainly am, this is a cool place to come. And if nothing else, come here and maybe buy parts, or maybe a photographer could come or an artist could come, because this looks like something behind a hippie repair shop in the 60s or 70s, and it still exists today. So like just where I'm standing right here, you know, there's a Golf, and there's a new Beetle, and there's a Squareback, and there are vans and campers over there. If you cut a tree and you count the rings, you can tell how old it is. This is like cutting into the history of Volkswagen. It's all right here. I introduced the show before and showed you signs, so you're going to get lots more business out of this. But you know, I used to bring my car to Guy to get serviced, you know, 30 years ago, and it's interesting now that his son is starting to take over the business. Are you going to retire anytime soon?
No,
No, okay.
don't plan on it.
So sometimes I go by here every few years and it's empty, and then I come back and it's full again. How do these cars wind up here?
Different people call. I get a call from tow-in yards. Their cars have been in a wreck. They don't have insurance on them, so they call me, and you know, I go and make an offer on them. Some of them I get, some of them I don't. Other ones are brought in here. The repair bill is going to be too big a value, more value than the car is.
Yeah.
And so I buy them for that, part them out. basically that's where most of them come from.
Do you have any cars here that are customer cars that just kind of, they decided they're not going to invest any more money in?
Well, I got a couple here. I got a Beetle here, a 71 Beetle that was left 12, 13 years ago, and nobody's ever come back to claim it.
And that's this car right here?
It's this car here. And over time, people's helped themselves to it. I guess they think it's a scrap vehicle, and we've started to put storage stuff in it.
Yep. So it's a complete car?
It's a complete car. It wasn't in that bad a shape, but you know, it was.
So 12, 13 years ago, it was pretty nice?
Yeah.
Man.
But it was just brought and left, and you know, nobody ever claimed it.
So I was looking at this Volkswagen Camper here. It's got moss on it. I mean, this thing has got to be here forever.
Yeah, it's been here probably 12 years, 10, 12 years.
Now, this is almost like art. I mean, this is like, you couldn't create this.
This was a really nice camper. It belonged to a professor up at CVCC.
Yep.
He brought it, he left it. He said one day he'd get back with me. He wanted the engine going through and he was going to start driving it, going on camping trip. I don't know whatever happened to him, and then about 6 or 8 years ago, I heard he had died. And the van's just sitting. It's a complete van. It's really nice on the inside. Everything's in there, the stove, refrigerator. It's a pretty nice van, but it's just sat here through time. And
Now, is that a front wheel drive?
no, it's a rear wheel.
That's a rear wheel drive.
Uh-huh. It's still an air cooled. This is one of the last air cooled vans Volkswagen made. This is a 81. I used a 2-liter, a 2000 cc engine in it.
So I mean, so what do you do with all like that car, this car? I mean,
I just sat here. Like this one's full of storage stuff. I mean, you know, it's excess stuff I bought. It's, you know, from like 75 through 82 rabbit stuff's in there. You know, stuff you never sell anymore.
yeah. Wow. How far away is your collection?
Oh, 5 minutes.
Would you be into going over there?
Yeah, we got over
You
there.
would?
Like, yeah.
I mean,
It's in a building that don't have lights in it, so
we
it's hard to
have
see.
our own lights.
Okay.
I've known Guy for 30-something years, I think, when I first moved to North Carolina, because he'd repair my Volkswagens. But I've only known him from his shop. I've never been invited here to his private stash. So I asked, what Volkswagens do you have? He said, well, come on over, follow me. So we're going to see what he's got in his garage. Single cab. So what year is this?
61.
61, 36 horsepower.
It was a 40 horsepower.
It was 40?
Yes.
Boy, very nice. So is this an original car? Or did you
It is.
It's original. That's original paint?
No, it's not original paint. It's been painted one time that they know of. It's pretty solid. The tailgates and everything really work like they should.
Oh man.
This is a storage compartment. It goes all the way through to the other side. There's a door on each side.
All the way through. Look at that. Man, that's great. Was this a white truck originally?
It was a white truck. Pretty nice little truck. Wasn't eat up with the rust.
And you bought it like this. You didn't paint it.
The only thing I did to it was put a set of wheels on it.
So let's show how these things flip down.
Pull the lever.
So if you imagine, there's one of these over there, and in the back. So you got all three. So this goes from a pickup truck to a flatbed. Boy, you have this place jam-packed.
Yeah.
So this is your...
This is just a 67 weekender camper. Well, it's not really a camper. It's just got a bed and cabinets in it. This van come out of California about 25 years ago.
And how long have you had it?
I've owned it 15 years.
That thing is slammed, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, look how low this thing is. It's usually up here. Oh, man.
But it's really nice, no rust in it.
Man, no kidding.
It's a really neat vehicle to ride around in. When my son was in high school for his senior prom, he didn't want to go in a limo or anything. He asked if I'd take him in this.
Isn't that great?
So I took him and his date in this. And I think they got more attention than people pulling in a limo and all. When we pulled up in front of the school, all the teachers had to come out and get their picture made with it. So it was pretty neat. He enjoyed it.
So how'd you find this one?
It belonged to a customer of mine, and he was moving, and he was needing some money.
And you bought it just like this?
I bought it just like this.
Man. Well, you got your own barn finds in a real barn here. Boy, that's pretty sweet.
It's a little 74. Volkswagen only imported them in 1973 and 1974.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 of them, but I had one, and one man wanted more than I did. so he took it home with him.
Mm-hmm. Boy, that's a sweetheart.
I wouldn't sell this one. This one is
Yeah, I'd say.
it's a cherry.
And he restored that?
Yes, he did.
Because it looks like the seats have been reupholstered. It's probably going to be
I
painted.
did the seats. It had the factory seats in it, but they were so uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever rode in a thing with factory seats in it. So I got these seats, and I took them to a friend that he does upholstery in Troutman.
Mm-hmm.
And he did the interior for me in it.
Boy, that's a nice job, man.
And it's really comfortable riding in it now, so I don't have no problem getting in it, going to the mountains, ride the parkway on Sunday afternoon.
So how do you pick which one you're going to ride? I mean, you probably don't use a lot. You probably don't use them
I don't
all.
use hardly any of them. I'm at the age now I want riding something comfortable. This is the one I was telling you about. My grandfather helped me with. This is probably one of my favorites.
Oh, it's a
in here.
67 convertible?
No, it's a 70.
70. Well, everything's got custom wheels. That's your thing, huh?
Yeah, I got a lot of the factory wheels are in that building up there that come off of them. I try to save them.
Oh, yeah. All your wheels are different, too. This has been lowered.
It has. Well, it's got 13-inch wheels on it, too. That's the reason.
13-inch,
Yeah,
really?
13-inch, that's the reason it's set so low. And then it's got a select to drop front end under it.
What motor's in here?
It's just a stock 1500. It come in the car new.
And so your grandfather helped you with the interior?
He did the interior for me. He did the seats. I just took him the car. He told me when I got ready for the interior, he wanted to do it for me.
Isn't that nice?
And I took it up there, and he did the door panels, carpet, seats, and all. He did all that. And this car's been, it's been like this, I guess it's about 30 years ago when I redid this car. 20, 28, 30 years ago. I did it before I got married.
Man. How many miles have you put on it in 30 years?
Probably 2,000.
Wow. Well, this is another convertible here?
Yeah, that's a 77 Champagne edition. This car's got 42,000 miles on it.
Really? Is that original paint?
It is.
Whoa, man.
Sat in here and got dusty. The original interior and all.
2004 is the last time it was inspected.
Uh-huh. That's when they stopped putting stickers in. I don't know, what year did they stop in North Carolina?
Not too long ago. You know, maybe 5 years ago or 6 years.
This car's got 42,000 original miles on it.
Man.
I got a pair of Carmen Gias. I got a convertible and a hardtop.
Oh,
Both
man.
the same year model. They're same colors. They got different wheels, but both of them's got identical interiors in them.
Is that the same color as this, or is that a little bit darker?
No, it's a little bit darker.
Isn't that something? And that's the other Gi over here?
That's the hardtop over there.
Really? Did you buy them as a package?
No, they're different people.
Those look like Porsche wheels on there.
That's just Porsche hubcaps.
Porsche hubcaps. Wow. What year are they?
72s.
And you haven't driven, I mean, if they're this far back, you haven't driven these in a long time.
I moved them down here about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And I drove them then.
Uh-huh.
I drove them both down here.
Phew, nice job. Now these are restored, repainted.
This one's been repainted, that one hasn't. No, I'm sorry, that one has, this one hadn't.
Uh-huh. Isn't that something?
This is a little 66 model. I'm the second owner of it. This car's got 12,000 miles on it.
12,000.
The interior is unbelievable. This is the original carpet, the interior, everything in this car is original.
Man.
The man bought it in 1966 and he died in 1970. And his wife was going to give it to one of their grandsons when they got old enough. Well, they didn't want it. So
I bet it runs like brand new.
it does. Beautiful little car.
Man, oh man, what a nice collection. Oh, this is, and then what about the Trans Am? Oh, where's
That was my first car.
Was it?
I got my license in February of 79. We got the car in November of November of 78.
What year is it?
It's a 79.
So is this an unrestored car?
This is unrestored. Nothing's ever been done to it. This car's got 34,000 miles on it.
Man, what motor's in there?
A 403.
Man, jeez. So I've known this guy, you know, since I moved to North Carolina a long time ago, and I've only seen the cars that he has at his shop, the junk cars, the cars he works on. And he always told me he had this little collection of cars, but this is the first time I've been to his little museum here, and this has been pretty terrific. So, Guy, it's been really good catching up with you again after all these years, and I'm going to bring my 60 convertible over for you to fix really soon. So, thank you, man.
Thank you.
You have a good day.
Thanks very much.
Hi, it's Tom Cotter. You know, I'm sure you're like me. I'm getting so tired of this pandemic thing and being locked down. But we've decided to try a new experiment, have some fun with Barn Find Hunter, where you are going to film some of the episodes that we may carry on Barn Find Hunter. So what I want you to do is take your iPhone, hold it horizontally, and shoot a Barn Find Hunter episode of a car that you may have or your neighbor may have. You know what we like. We like rust, we like dust. You'll find information on the description down below on how to send it to Hagerty, and you may see it down the road as a Barn Find Hunter episode. So I hope you join us in having some fun filming your own Barn Find Hunter episode. Maybe you'll get your own show one day. Happy hunting.